I'm just a little girl, only 1 year old, but I already know that my big sister loves playing this game called Five Nights at Freddy's. She's always talking about it and watching videos of people playing it on her tablet. I don't really understand what the game is about, but I know it's something scary because whenever she plays it, she gets really excited and sometimes even screams. One day, I was sitting in my playpen, playing with my toys, when I heard my sister start up the game. I peeked over the edge of my playpen and saw her staring intently at the screen, her eyes wide with excitement. I watched as she navigated through the creepy animatronic characters, trying to survive the night. As I watched her play, I started to feel a little scared. The animatronics looked so creepy and I didn't like the way they moved. I started to cry, feeling overwhelmed by the eerie atmosphere of the game. My sister must have heard me because she turned around and saw me crying. "What's wrong, little sis?" she asked, concern in her voice. I sniffled and pointed at the screen. "It's scary," I whimpered. My sister laughed and scooped me up in her arms. "Don't worry, it's just a game. It's not real," she reassured me. I buried my face in her shoulder, feeling comforted by her presence. She continued to play the game, but this time, she made sure to keep me close so I wouldn't get scared again. As she played, she explained the game to me, pointing out the different characters and their behaviors. By the time she finished playing, I had stopped crying and was even starting to feel a little curious about the game. Maybe it wasn't so scary after all, especially with my big sister there to protect me. From that day on, I would watch my sister play Five Nights at Freddy's with a mixture of fear and fascination. I may be just a little girl, but I knew that with my big sister by my side, I could face anything, even creepy animatronic characters. And who knows, maybe one day I'll even join her in playing the game myself. But for now, I'll stick to watching and learning from the safety of my playpen. I'm just a little girl, only 1 year old, but I already know what I want. My big sister, who is 5 years older than me, loves watching videos on YouTube. She spends hours glued to the screen, laughing and gasping at all the funny and exciting things she sees. One day, as she was watching her videos, I crawled up to her and said, "Hi sis." But she didn't understand me. She just looked at me with a confused expression on her face. I tried again, "Hi sis." But still, she didn't get it. Finally, she asked me, "Do you want a diaper change?" I nodded eagerly, hoping that she would finally understand me. She changed my diaper and then picked me up, saying, "It's time to play with your toy phone, little sis." I didn't want to play with the toy phone. I wanted to play with her phone, the one she was always on. I reached out for it, but she shook her head and said, "No, little sis. This is your toy phone. You can play with it." I pouted and crossed my arms, refusing to play with the toy phone. I wanted to be like my big sister, watching videos and playing games on her phone. But she just laughed and said, "You're too young for that, little sis. You can play with your toy phone for now." I sighed and reluctantly started playing with the toy phone, pretending to make calls and send messages. But deep down, I couldn't wait for the day when I would be old enough to play with my big sister's phone. Until then, I would just have to settle for my toy phone and dream of the day when I could be just like her. I'm just a little girl, only 1 year old, but I already know that my big sister loves her cocktails a little too much. It's funny to watch her stumble around the house, giggling and slurring her words. But one night, things took a turn for the worse. I was playing in my room when I heard my big sister stumbling down the hallway. She burst into my room, her eyes glazed over and a bottle of vodka in her hand. She tried to pick me up to change my diaper, but I squirmed out of her grasp and ran away. I hid under my crib, hoping she wouldn't find me. But she did. She started screaming at me, calling me names like, "Little error," and, "Little monster." She said I was a bad girl for running away from her. I couldn't stop crying. The tears streamed down my face as she continued to yell at me. Finally, she stormed out of the room, leaving me alone in the darkness. I whispered to myself, "Bad big sis," before bursting into sobs once again. I felt so small and helpless, trapped in a world where my big sister's love for alcohol overshadowed everything else. But even in my tears, I knew that one day, things would get better. I just had to hold on and wait for the storm to pass. And maybe, just maybe, my big sister would realize that her little sister needed her more than she needed another drink. Chapter 1. Reunited with my big sister. I couldn't believe my eyes when I opened the door to find my big sister standing there with a huge smile on her face. It had been so long since we had seen each other, and I was overjoyed to have her back in my life. Hey sis, it's been so long, she exclaimed, pulling me into a tight hug. I laughed, feeling the warmth of her embrace. I know, it feels like forever since we last saw each other. We made our way into the living room, where we settled down on the couch and caught up on each other's lives. My sister had been traveling the world, exploring new cultures and experiencing new adventures. I, on the other hand, had been stuck in the same old routine, working a boring desk job and feeling like I was stuck in a rut. As we chatted, my sister couldn't help but tease me about my lack of excitement in life. Come on, sis, you need to live a little. You're only 29, you should be out there having fun and experiencing new things. I rolled my eyes, knowing she was right. I know. But it's not easy to just drop everything and travel the world like you do. She grinned mischievously. Who said you have to travel the world to have fun? We can have plenty of adventures right here in our own backyard. I raised an eyebrow, intrigued by her suggestion. What do you have in mind, big sis? She leaned in closer, her eyes sparkling with excitement. How about we start by throwing a wild party right here in your living room? We can invite all your friends, crank up the music, and dance the night away. I couldn't help but laugh at her enthusiasm. You know what, that actually sounds like a lot of fun. Let's do it. And so, that's exactly what we did. We spent the rest of the evening dancing, laughing, and making memories that would last a lifetime. My big sister had a way of bringing out the best in me, and I was grateful to have her back in my life. As the night came to an end, my sister pulled me into another hug, her eyes filled with love and gratitude. I'm so glad I came to visit you, sis. You may be the little sister, but you have a big heart and a spirit that's ready to soar. Don't ever forget that. I smiled, feeling a sense of warmth and contentment wash over me. With my big sister by my side, I knew that anything was possible. And as we said our goodbyes, I knew that this was just the beginning of many more adventures to come. The end. I never thought I would have to face the world without my big sister by my side. She was my rock, my confidant, my best friend. But now, she's gone, taken from me in a tragic car accident that left me reeling with grief and disbelief. I remember the day it happened like it was yesterday. The phone call that shattered my world, the rush to the hospital, the sight of her lifeless body lying on a cold, sterile bed. I couldn't believe it was real, couldn't accept that she was gone forever. As the days turned into weeks and the weeks turned into months, I found myself lost in a sea of sorrow and despair. I couldn't eat, couldn't sleep, couldn't find the will to go on without her. Every moment felt like a struggle, every breath a painful reminder of the emptiness that now filled my heart. But as time passed, I began to realize that my sister would want me to keep living, to find a way to honor her memory and carry on with my life. And so, I made a promise to myself to do just that, to find the strength within me to move forward and find a new sense of purpose in her absence. It wasn't easy, of course. There were days when the pain was so overwhelming that I thought I would never be able to bear it. But slowly, ever so slowly, I began to heal. I sought out therapy, leaned on my friends and family for support, and allowed myself to grieve in my own time and in my own way. And as I navigated the rocky road of grief and healing, I discovered a newfound resilience within myself. I found the courage to face each day with a renewed sense of purpose, to honor my sister's memory by living my life to the fullest and never taking a moment for granted. In the end, I realized that my sister's death had taught me a valuable lesson, that life is precious and fleeting, and that we must cherish every moment we have with the ones we love. And so, I vowed to live each day with gratitude and love, knowing that my sister would always be watching over me, guiding me, and cheering me on from above. And as I stood at her graveside, tears streaming down my face, I whispered a silent thank you to the universe for blessing me with such a beautiful soul as my sister. And I knew that no matter what life threw my way, I would always carry her memory in my heart, a beacon of light in the darkness, guiding me through the storms of life with grace and strength. For she may be gone, but her spirit lives on in me, a constant reminder of the power of love, the resilience of the human spirit, and the beauty of a life well lived. And so, I will continue to honor her memory, to live each day with purpose and passion, and to never forget the incredible bond we shared as sisters, forever and always. I never thought I would forget the memories of my big sister. She was my rock, my confidant, my best friend. But after she died in a tragic car accident, everything changed. The memories of her began to fade, slipping through my fingers like sand. I was 37 years old when it happened. The news of her death hit me like a ton of bricks, shattering my world into a million pieces. I couldn't believe she was gone, that I would never see her smile or hear her laugh again. And as the days turned into weeks, and the weeks turned into months, I found myself forgetting the little things about her. The way she used to braid my hair, the sound of her voice when she sang in the shower, the smell of her favorite perfume. It was like a part of me was missing, a hole in my heart that could never be filled. I tried to hold on to the memories, to cling to them with all my might, but they slipped away from me, leaving me feeling lost and alone. In a desperate attempt to hold on to what little I had left of her, I decided to write a book. A book about our life together, about the moments we shared, the secrets we kept, the love we had for each other. I called it Forgotten Memories, a tribute to the sister I had lost, the memories that were slipping away from me. As I poured my heart and soul into the pages of the book, I felt a sense of peace wash over me. It was like I was reconnecting with her, reliving the moments we had shared, the bond we had formed. And as I wrote, the memories began to flood back to me, filling the void that had been left in my heart. The book became a bestseller, touching the hearts of readers all over the world. It was a testament to the love I had for my sister, the memories I had of her, the bond that could never be broken. And as I read the words on the pages, I knew that she would always be a part of me, that her memory would live on forever in the hearts of those who read my book. And so, I continue to write, to share the memories of my big sister with the world. For in doing so, I keep her spirit alive, I honor her memory, and I hold on to the love we shared, even in death. For she will always be a part of me, a part of my soul, a part of my forgotten memories. I'm just a little girl, only 1 year old, but I already have a big sister who loves to play dress up. She has this wolf mask that she likes to wear, and it always scares me a little bit. One day, I was playing in the living room when I saw my big sister walk in wearing her wolf mask. I immediately started crying because it looked so creepy to me. I couldn't understand why she would want to wear something so scary. My big sister tried to comfort me, telling me that it was just a mask and that she was still the same person underneath. But I couldn't shake the feeling of fear that the mask brought out in me. As the days went on, my big sister continued to wear the wolf mask, and I continued to cry every time I saw her in it. It became a running joke in our family, with my parents teasing my sister about scaring me with her mask. But despite my fear, I couldn't help but laugh at the absurdity of the situation. Here was my big sister, trying to be playful and fun, but inadvertently scaring her baby sister in the process. It was like something out of a comedy movie. Eventually, my big sister realized that the wolf mask was just too much for me to handle, and she put it away for good. I was relieved, but also a little sad that the source of our family's laughter was gone. Looking back on it now, I can't help but chuckle at the memory of my big sister in her wolf mask. It may have been creepy to me at the time, but it was also a silly and funny moment that brought us closer together as sisters. And that's something I'll always cherish, even if it did make me cry. Everyone please stay in your seats. The show will begin momentarily. Behold the horrors. They lurk beneath the shadows of remorse. You wouldn't know of course. But I force. A new judgment day. On this day, you will repay your respects to all that may lurk in between your mind and mankind. So have a seat and be afraid. Fear's about to commence the final ritual. One body's all we need for this to be complete. And when the day begins to take form, you won't be leaving those doors. You'll only live with us inside the darkness as we tear you up inside. I was left behind. All this torture will unwind. I was never all that kind. If you were to rewind, then you would find I was left behind. Take your turn to run and hide. I will catch you all the time. This night no longer shines. Your tears divine. You'll now be mine. Behold the terrors. You won't believe what I have done to you. I've made it look brand new. Oh how cute. But don't digress. I'm the ring master you see. In this horror game you flee. I take up every shadow believe me. Now have a seat and grab your light. Tears begin to run you dry. But darkened thoughts are the common grounds. I give myself to be complete. Be as it may our courtesy remains. So we offer you our darkest passion. Take off that blindfold that heals and reveal your soul that dies. I was left behind. All this torture will unwind. I was never all that kind. If you were to rewind, then you would find I was left behind. Take your turn to run and hide. I will catch you all the time. This night no longer shines. Your tears divine. You'll now be mine. You dare bring your filth into my lair. Well then, let us descend. Reborn again. Our suits are now refined. Breathing new life. Inside our tombs tonight. You have no idea what we've been through time and time again. Don't hold it on to our deadliest demise. We can't keep you alive. All this torture will unwind. Take it from our broken crimes. We have no place to go. But you would know. Take your turn to run and flee. But death's your destiny. Stop holding back from me. They burned it all down. They burned us alive. They made us look like clowns. Our souls arise. But like the jester said to the king, there is bad news that I bring. Now let the night begin. I was left behind. All this torture will unwind. I was never all that kind. If you were to rewind, then you would find I was left behind. Take your turn to run and hide. I will catch you all the time. This night no longer shines. Your tears divine. You'll now be mine. We hope you enjoyed the show. Within your grave down below. Title: The Monster in the Dark. Chapter 1. The Nightmare. I'm just a little girl, only 1 year old, but I already have a big imagination. Sometimes, my dreams can be a little scary. Last night, I had a nightmare about a monster that was lurking in the dark, watching me as I slept. Its eyes glowed red, and its sharp teeth gleamed in the moonlight. I was so scared that I woke up crying. Chapter 2. My Big Sister's Comfort. When I woke up crying, my big sister was there to comfort me. She hugged me tightly and whispered soothing words in my ear. It's okay, little one, she said. There's no monster here. It was just a bad dream. Her words helped to calm me down, and soon I was able to drift back to sleep, safe in her arms. Chapter 3. A Funny Twist. The next morning, I told my big sister about my nightmare. She listened intently, her eyes wide with concern. But then, to my surprise, she started to giggle. What's so funny? I asked, puzzled. She explained that she had also had a nightmare that night, but hers was about a silly monster that kept tripping over its own feet. We both laughed at the absurdity of it all, and suddenly my scary dream didn't seem so frightening anymore. Chapter 4. Facing Fears Together. From that day on, whenever I had a nightmare, my big sister was there to comfort me. We would laugh about our silly dreams and make up funny stories to chase away the monsters. With her by my side, I felt brave enough to face any fear that came my way. And even though I was just a little girl, I knew that as long as I had my big sister's love and laughter, I could conquer anything, even the monsters in the dark. Hey friend, welcome back again to a night in our circus, Hall of Fame. Such a shame you won't be around for long. So we might as well sing our song. So basically, you have another 5 alerting nights. More frights, no bites but a vicious sight. We're controlled by an evil insanity. This profanity has no vanity. Welcome my friend to a night in our circus world. We're looking for a technician. And you're just the guy we've heard of. We're held away by wiring now. We're wanting out. Can you shock us? Can you tame us? But we want your body now. Now behave for the voices in the halls. We'll try to eat you up alive. So before the show begins, please don't hold against our sins. 'Cause by dawn, you'll be crumbling in your skin. We are the tortured, we're not your friends. So long as we're not visible, we are unfixable. We are the curses, crumbled inside. Look left or right, we're unthinkable. Our fate is now unfixable. We are the tortured, we're not your friends. So long as we're not visible, we are unfixable. We are the curses, crumbled inside. Look left or right, we're unthinkable. Our fate is now unfixable. Unfixable, 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 unfixable. Welcome back, friend, to a night of debauchery. As you saw from all the hardware, you're inclined to think the worst from us. You've got the knowledge to begin the chiming bell. So saddle up your hiding skill and start your night in hell. Pay good attention to your friends that creep around. They don't exactly act the same. So zap them with controlled shocks. They seem to like the buzz. And then they start to play, so keep pushing. You'll be wishing you could end this damn dismay. Listen clear, don't listen to that madman. He'll kill you from the inside. So before we take our bows, please remember your own vows. That tonight, we'll be crawling in your skin. We are the tortured, we're not your friends. So long as we're not visible, we are unfixable. We are the curses, crumbled inside. Look left or right, we're unthinkable. Our fate is now unfixable. We are the tortured, we're not your friends. So long as we're not visible, we are unfixable. We are the curses, crumbled inside. Look left or right, we're unthinkable. Our fate is now unfixable. Now open your heart and give it to me. Breathe new insanity. So you read the news, what did you see? For there's no truth to defend our ghastly deeds. We have our signs to show that we're alive. But we're dead as far as they believe. We're all puppets, taken by a jester in disguise. It's a fact without the ties. Link us together, we're a family forever. Ready to show you our surprise. I can't take it, scoop me up. Wish me dead tonight, we wanna be like you. We wanna be like you. A bad presence tears me down. Deep inside the core, get it out of my mind. Get it out of my mind. We're all puppets, taken by a jester in disguise. It's a fact without the ties. It's a fact without the ties. Link us together, we're a family forever. Ready to show you a surprise. Unfixable, 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 unfixable. We are the tortured, we're not your friends. So long as we're not visible. We are unfixable. We are the curses, crumbled inside. Look left or right, we're unthinkable. Our fate is now unfixable. I can't take it, scoop me up. Wish me dead tonight, we wanna be like you. We wanna be like you. We're all puppets, ready to show you a surprise. Welcome, my friend, to a night in our circus world.